So we got good times, hard times coming up in a few minutes here. We do it every Tuesday, of course. Tell you which NFL fan bases, minus the Dolphins, which NFL fan bases are having good times after this week's action and which are having hard times at it after this week's action. We'll get to that in a moment here. Thanks to everyone who came out to Briny Pub on Sunday. Place was packed watching the Dolphins game there. BrinyPubPompano.com. They got live music there every night. Great atmosphere. World's greatest upscale dive bar. Got live music every night, including tonight. You got Michelle Wolf live tonight starting at 6 p.m. You got a fresh pint waiting for you right now at Briny. Got some specials too today. How about some new Mahi tacos? All right, it's Taco Tuesday. You got $1 off Casamigos, Patron and Volley Tequila Seltzers. The Briny Hour, Monday through Friday, 4 to 7 p.m. And like I said, you got live music 7 days a week. And I'll see you on Sundays for Dolphins games and NFL Sunday Ticket. They got it at the Briny. So Briny Irish Pub, Pompano Beach, BrinyPubPompano.com. World's greatest upscale dive bar. Real easy to get there, Atlantic Boulevard, all the way down to the Atlantic Ocean. Don't drive into the ocean. You can't watch the games or have drinks there. But Atlantic all the way to the ocean, and right there on your right-hand side, you got Briny Irish Pub. All right, very good. Love those guys out there. So, I do want to get something NBA related here, all right, before we get to good times, hard times. So, big controversy right now in Atlanta, right? Trae Young, Nate McMillan. Now, Trae Young has had clashes with coaches in the past. Remember, Lloyd Pierce got fired a couple years ago. Nate McMillan was elevated from assistant coach to head coach. So, Nate McMillan has had clashes. And, Trae Young has had clashes with the coach. But, that doesn't mean Trae Young's a coach killer. Coaches can have disagreements with their players, with their star players. Jimmy Butler and Eric Spoelstra, we know they go at it, all right? But it's not the end of the world. But there was, I think there was probably blame to go around on both sides where Trae Young needs to be showing up for the game as opposed to, being told, hey, either come off the bench or don't play tonight. And he decides, okay, then I guess I'm not coming to the game tonight. And on the other side, Trae Young needs to be better about that. And then on the other side, Nate McMillan, why is Nate McMillan giving him an ultimatum? I understand he's the coach, and I wish the coach had more power than he does. We know it's a player-driven league, but Nate McMillan probably doesn't have to. Why is he saying you could only come off the bench if you're hurt? What's going on there, and why does it have to be come off the bench or don't play? Clearly, we're not getting the whole story. That's for sure. All right, and hey, that's for them. Now you also have to remember, if Trae Young did something really bad, and he should have been at the game, but he'd have been suspended if he did something really bad. If he was supposed to be there, if it was an inexcused absence, he'd have probably been suspended. So anyway, this is yesterday, Trae Young speaking in the media for the first time since that. And if you're trying to get into sports media and your professor is going to tell you, he's going to show you a video of what not to do when talking to players, this is the video they would show you.
Situation, we're all grown men here, and there's sometimes we don't always agree, and it's unfortunate that private situations and private conversations get out to the public, but I guess that's what the world we live in now. But I'll just focus on basketball and focus on helping my team win, and that's what I got to get to refocusing on.
But what's public was that you not at the game, so why weren't you there?
Man, it sounded you was at me, bro.
I'm curious. You're leader of this team.
Yeah. Yeah, it's hard for people who don't know the full situation to understand it. So, it's like I said, it's a private matter again, and it made public, which was unfortunate. And if it was stayed private, it probably wouldn't have been as big of a deal. But like I said, it's unfortunate. My job and my goal is to win a championship, and that's all I focus on.
But you can see the perception, though, Trae. You are a leader of this team, and when you're not there to support your guys.
When you're an outside guy like you are, and you don't understand in a private matter, in a private situation, you should probably stay on the outside. And like I said, it's unfortunate that everybody has to understand and know a little bit of the details that went on inside. But, inside here, we're all good. And I mean, you got any more questions about that, then you can talk to somebody else about it. That's all I got to say about it.
Again, I respect what you're saying about the private of the locker room, the private of the practice court. We're not here. I guess it's just a public thing of you not going to support your teammates when you're healthy about not going on the bench. So where's the disconnect there?
If I was healthy, I would have been playing.
But, I mean, John was in a boot, and he was still at the game.
Yeah, but you don't know the full story. Again, no, I don't want to.
So that's just, there's more to it. If you being healthy, just, I mean.
A private matter needs to stay private.
I hate that whole exchange. It makes reporters, sports media look so bad. You know, you got this notion. Forget about the fake news and that kind of stuff. That's a whole nother issue. But you got guys like Kyrie Irving who put this narrative out there that the media's out to get them, and it's stuff like this that reinforces that. Like this reporter, I don't even know his name. Who the hell cares? This reporter, he furthers that narrative. This reporter was out to get Trae Young. This is his gotcha moment. This is his let's go viral moment. This reporter is the guy that the players are talking about when they don't like the media. It's this guy. It gives the rest of us a bad reputation. I mean, first of all, you could tell Trae Young, because he says it's a private conversation. He kept saying it's a private conversation. Get out to public. He's more angry. He's not as angry about the situation than he is that someone decided to get this information out there. That there's someone in the Hawks organization who, right after this happened, decided to get on the phone, text Woj or Shams or what. He's angry about that. He's much more angry about this leak that is maybe trying to make him look bad than he is about any kind of disagreement with his coach named McMillan. That's first and foremost. But this is an example of how not to cover athletes. You know, like, excuse me, I tweeted out on my Twitter at ZASLOW Show, and I got a response. You know, it's a terrible job by a reporter. And I got a response. It's a great job by the reporter. These players are divas making millions, and they get upset when they're asked uncomfortable questions. It can't be a great job by the reporter when he didn't get any answers out of him. That, by definition, the reporter's job is to get answers. He didn't get any answers. So just by definition, it's a terrible job by the reporter. He didn't accomplish anything. And in my opinion, and I think a lot of people when you hear that would agree, a big reason he didn't get the answers was because of the way he spoke to Trae Young, was because of his tone. I mean, just the first question I think it's, and Trae was taken aback. You heard him. He was taken aback by this guy. Like this reporter was like he was sunning him. He was sunning him. You're not his daddy. I mean, the way that he was talking to him was rough, man. You're never going to get answers out of players, especially a player that's in the wrong, like Trae Young was in the wrong. You're never going to get answers out of players speaking to them like that. And that whole thing right there was a bad look for the rest of us, because it reinforces that dopey opinion from guys like Kyrie that the media is out to get them. Porter didn't do his job at all. And then he kept asking him the same question. It's like, it's time to move on, man. It's allowed to be a private matter. He doesn't have to let everybody know. You know what you know. There was a leak. There you go. He doesn't need to disclose his private conversations with his head coach. I hate that exchange. It looks so bad too. And here's the thing. Can I let you know a little secret? Trae Young, by the way, he did a really good job. He was frustrated, but he did a really good job. He handled himself very well right there. That reporter sucks. That's the video they show you. If you're trying to be in sports media, that's the video clip they show you of how not to handle interactions with players. That right there, that's the video. But this is I'll let you know on behind the scenes stuff. That's a TV anchor. He's like a sports director there in Atlanta. Let me tell you exactly what happened. This is exactly what happened. And every market has this. God knows we have it down here. We do. We have that guy down here. You can figure it out for yourself. His name rhymes with Yim Yeri. We got that down here too. There'll be like a controversy and this was a controversy. There'll be like a controversy with one of the team's players out there, and the TV anchor, the TV reporter, who is never at the games, who's never covering the team, he then shows up for the first time. He's got to be there for the controversy. He's there for the first time all year. Every team has this. Every city has this. We have it here too. I told you his name rhymes with Yim Yeri. And he will show up the only time of year when there's a controversy to butt in, to put his nose into this story. And he'll get out in front. He'll ask those questions. And there will be a tone as well like this. And he's trying to do the gotcha and got to get on camera. And that guy is the Atlanta version of that. They're never there. They only show up when there's the controversy. And the players know that. And now Trae Young is being grilled. It was disrespectful. Trae Young is being grilled by this guy who's there for the first time all year. And, like, he didn't have patience for that. Like, Trae Young may have had the patience for the guy who's there grinding every single day, the guy who's covering the Hawks beat. But the guy who's only there for the first time this year because there's a controversy. Yeah, Trae Young knows he hasn't seen that guy all year. And now you're talking to me like that? Guy sucks. Anyway. Hey. Week 13 in the NFL is done. We got to find out which fans are having good times right now and which fans are having hard times, Daddy.
Hard times are when the auto workers are out of work and they tell them go home. And hard times are when a man has worked at a job 30 years. 30 years. They give him a watch, kick him in the butt, and say, hey, a computer took your place, Daddy. That's hard time. That's hard time.
All right, let's start out with the good times first, all right? Let's find out which fan bases through Week 13 of the NFL are experiencing good times after this week's action. Number 3, Detroit Lions fans. That's right, Detroit Lions are now 5-7, looking like a competent team. They have good offense. They scored 40 points. Jared Goff, not terrible. They scored 40 against the Jaguars. They're now 5-7. They love Man Campbell. Lions fans right now, believe it or not, are having good times. Number 2, Philadelphia Eagles fans. They crushed the Tennessee Titans. A.J. Brown, excellent revenge game against his former club who didn't want to pay him. They're 11-1. Number 1 in the NFC. Home field advantage throughout. The Eagles fan is having good times right now. And the number 1 fan base right now that's having good times, they're having the best times, Cincinnati Bengals fans. Yep. After a slow start to the season, they got Jamar Chase back, Joe Mixon, they're weathering that storm, Joe Shiesty, Joe Burrow. AFC champions are looking like the AFC champions. They're now 8-4. They get a great win against the Chiefs. They own the Chiefs. Burrow owns Patrick Mahomes. 3-0 against him. Number 1 good times this week, Cincinnati Bengals fans. So number 3, Lions fans. Number 2, Eagles fans. Number 1, the best times right now after week 13 are being had by the Bengals fans. Now, let's see which team's fan base are having hard times, Daddy. Number 3, Chiefs fans. Yep. Chiefs are still technically tied for first in the AFC, but they lose the tiebreaker right now to Buffalo. They're 9-3, and they got to be concerned again. What if we got to run into Cincinnati again in the playoffs? I mean, Joe Burrow, he owns us. Chiefs fans are having hard times right now. Number 2, Chargers fans. The Chargers dropped to 6-6. Bad loss to the Raiders, and now they got to take on Tua, who's going to light their asses up. They know it's coming. They're going to be embarrassed at home. Their home this year is Los Angeles. Number 2, Chargers fans having hard times, Daddy. And number 1, we actually have a tie for first place. The team's fan bases that are having the hardest times this week are Commanders and Giants fans. Now, the Commanders, that's what Washington is called this year. They're called the Commanders. Commanders and Giants played to a tie this week. The whole week, you're looking forward to a game. You'll watch the whole game. Nobody wins. It's a tie. Hard times, Daddy. So number 3, Chiefs fans are having hard times. Number 2, Chargers fans are having hard times. And number 1, hard times, Daddy, for the Commanders and Giants fans. And that right there is another edition, a Tuesday edition of Good Times and Hard Times, Daddy. So, Florida Panthers, by the way, Panthers are back in action tonight. I do need to make sure I note that. They are taking on the Winnipeg Jets. The Panthers looking for 3 in a row. All right. And I would imagine it's going to be Spencer Knight in goal again. He's gotten 3 consecutive starts, I think, at this point. He's the better goaltender. I would imagine it's going to be Knight again. Panthers with back-to-back road wins, 5-1 road wins. Knight's been great. He's the better goaltender. And if Knight is back in goal tonight, I think this is probably a sign. Spencer Knight's the number one. Like, it's Spencer Knight time. Spencer Knight is the number one goaltender for this team. And Bobrovsky now, I mean, he'll still going to get his games, but he's officially the number 2. Bobrovsky needs to be the backup right now. Keep rolling with Spencer Knight. The Panthers are 12-9-4. They are currently a point back of a wild card spot. Sucks. And they are 3 back in the division right now. So they take on a Winnipeg Jets are good. Jets are second in the Western Conference Central Division with 31 points. They're 15-7-1. So they're 7 games over 500. They're very good, while the Panthers are sitting a game under 500 at 12-9-4. This would be a great finish to the road trip. Then the Panthers are coming back home after this. They'll be back home on Thursday to take on Detroit before Saturday night they're at Tampa Bay. So if the Panthers can finish this road trip strong tonight, I'll be very excited. Come on. 8 o'clock tonight, Panthers and Jets from Canada Life Center in Winnipeg. And like I said, I'm hoping it's Spencer Knight who's in goal again. And I think that's a clear sign that Spencer Knight is the number one goalie on this team. Let's go, man. Let's go. I'll tell you what's a good idea to do tonight. Sit myself down on the couch, 8 p.m. tonight, Panthers, Jets. I'm already actually sitting on the couch because the Heat game started at 7:30. Heat and Pistons. Go grab me a Johnny. That's right. I'm talking about Johnny Cuba, a lifestyle brand. We're talking European roots with a Caribbean soul. Hey, when I get done with the show today, sometimes early afternoon, late morning, I like to sit out there right at the pool, the ZASLOW Mansion patio, crack open a Johnny. I got myself a 6-pack. You pick it up from Sedano's or Presidente, Winn-Dixie. Right now, through the holiday season, you got a special on 6-packs. Hey, if you like hot sauce, oh man. When Juan and Myra first told me about the hot sauce, like, ZASLOW, do you like hot sauce in the ZASLOW Mansion? Yeah, I love hot sauce. How about Johnny Cuba hot sauce made from selected Caribbean habanero peppers? That's what I'm talking about right there. I'll put hot sauce on anything. You ever have hot sauce on macaroni and cheese? Yo, don't knock it. I love hot sauce on macaroni and cheese. But anyway, go grab yourself a Johnny. Like I said, 6-pack cans, holiday special, Sedano's, Presidente, Winn-Dixie. Go pick up a Johnny. Johnny Cuba, again, their mantra, stay tranquilo. Go pick up a 6-pack of Johnny Cuba right now. You won't regret it. You'll thank me. You don't have to, but you will. All right. You know what time it is. Let's do some big deal or not a big deal. All right. A Tuesday edition of Big Deal, Not a Big Deal. Here's what I got for you. Number one, a lot of a sad note today to start off Big Deal, Not a Big Deal. How about Kirstie Alley? We find out passes away yesterday. She was 71 years old. Obviously, maybe you saw when I was young, she was in the Look Who's Talking movies, but she really rose to fame, obviously, with Cheers. You know, not the stuff she'd been doing the last, 15, 20 years, where it's like she did a lot of reality TV stuff, but Cheers, she played Rebecca Howe, that's right. She was excellent on that show, great chemistry with Ted Danson. That really had her rise to fame. By the way, Cheers totally holds up if you go back and watch Cheers. Totally holds up. And Kirstie Alley was great on Cheers, and she passed away, 71 years old, a private battle with cancer. Nobody knew that. That's why it's private. A private battle with cancer. So that's a big deal. I was sad to hear that Kirstie Alley passes away yesterday. All right. No easy way to transition there. But how about we transition to Giannis Antetokounmpo yesterday? He lets you know after the game that his birthday is coming up, and, you're looking to get after it.
have something planned for me, maybe like a birthday cake, maybe like a birthday card, or maybe like a birthday watch, or maybe a jewelry. I would love that. I know if my family's watching right now, they should go get them. I would not want to go to dinner because I have a game the next day. I want to be able to rest and get my treatment that I usually do and take my nap and play with my kids. After once I put my kids to bed, you never know what can happen, you know? Might get a little bit freaky. It's my birthday.
Hey, good for Giannis there, all right? Come on, everybody wants to get a little action on their birthday. You know, Giannis, very busy guy, I'm sure. You know, look, it's his birthday. Let him get his freak on. That's a big deal right there, you know? Giannis, he deserves it. He's such a good player. Come on, that's a big deal. Here's what else I got for you, big deal or not a big deal. How about this FCS, not FBS, this FCS playoff game this past weekend? It was on ESPN, and one of the teams was punting, but the announcer, that's not exactly the way that he pronounced it.
A pretty good punt that Judd Crockett immediately.
Yeah, that's not how you pronounce it. It's not with a C. That's a completely different word. It's with a P. It's punt. It's not the other word, which is a really terrible word. So I'm going not a big deal. All right. It's embarrassing, of course. I don't know how many people saw it because it was an FCS game. I'm going not a big deal. Big deal, not a big deal. I got one more for you here. So Guns N' Roses, everybody knows Guns N' Roses. Oh, I love Guns N' Roses. Guns N' Roses had a show recently, and apparently it's a thing where at the end of the shows, I've seen Guns N' Roses a few times, but I don't know, whatever. Apparently it's a thing where after the show, Axl tosses his microphone into the crowd. Well, the microphone hit this woman in the face. She showed her pictures. She got busted up. She's got 2 black eyes. She is, which, you know, it means it hit her in the nose, right? Does that happen when you get a broken nose, you get the black eyes? She has these 2 black eyes. Her nose is busted. She got, all right. And I don't know if she's suing. I hope not. But it came to the band's attention. She got jacked up by this microphone that was thrown into the crowd. Axl Rose released this statement here. It's come to my attention that a fan may have been hurt at our show in Adelaide, Australia, possibly being hit by the microphone at the end of the show when I traditionally toss the mic to the fans. If true, obviously we don't want anyone getting hurt or to somehow in any way hurt anyone in any of our shows anywhere. Having tossed the mic at the end of our show for over 30 years, we always felt it was a known part of the very end of our performance that fans wanted and were aware of to have an opportunity to catch the mic. Regardless, in the interest of public safety, from now on, we'll refrain from tossing the mic or anything to the fans during or at our performances. Unfortunately, there are those that, for their own reasons, chose to frame their reporting regarding the subject in a more negative and irresponsible, out-of-nowhere light, which couldn't be further from reality. We hope the public and, of course, our fans get that sometimes happens. A big thanks to everyone for understanding. Yeah, I'm going not a big deal, all right? I hope this woman isn't suing. He clearly doesn't want, the band doesn't want people getting hurt. I didn't know that that's a thing that they've been doing for 30 years, but if that's a thing they're doing for 30 years and he's going to stop doing it because of this incident, then, clearly he feels bad about it. So I'm going, I'm going not a big deal. All right. I love Guns N' Roses. Oh, man, I love this. And that right there is another edition of Big Deal or Not a Big Deal. All right. Can we start the show tomorrow? Can we get a double dip tonight? Heat win, Panthers win. You know what a great mood I would be in if we could start the show tomorrow? If the Heat and the Panthers win tonight, that's called double dip. Can we start the show tomorrow with a little bit of double dip action? Look, I'll say a quick prayer to Hashem. Hashem, please, can we get double dip action tonight? All right, I love you a long time. See, there you go. That's how we want to start the show for tomorrow. Great job by everybody involved today. Excellent show we all put together. I appreciate you. Hit me up at ZASLOW Show on Twitter. Make sure you download, subscribe, rate, comment, like ZASLOW Show 2.0 podcast. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell your mother I say hello. The YouTube channel, youtube.com/@ZASLOW Show. If you want to sponsor, you want to get in on ZASLOW Show 2.0, if you think it's something that is worth you getting involved in, we'll figure something out. You go to my Twitter account. You can see in my bio there. I got my email there for sponsors, for advertisers. So if you think you're a good fit for the show, hey, let's talk. Come on, ZASLOW Show 2.0. I love all my sponsors and future sponsors. We'll talk to you on ZASLOW Show 2.0 tomorrow. You know what that means.